Looks like Aurelia is still doing really well in the new metagame. I just started testing myself, and China has had the set for a while now. Aurelia's been putting up decent results over there. We've got a bunch of city challenges with some interesting lists, and we also have a very, very, very interesting list coming out of the Runes and Rift online tournament. This one has the Baron Nashor, which is something I tested a little bit of myself until I started facing Aurora, and then kind of obsessed over the matchup, and now we're on whatever this pile is, which is just trying to solve that matchup. It feels really bad. It's definitely not unwinnable. I think with my list, we're going towards the like 60-40 for them, maybe 65% for them. It's probably more like 60. I want to believe it's 60. I've had success with this. The recap is Sneaky Deckhand is back, and it feels so good to play Sneaky again. I kind of forgot how fun it is to play the card. Probably really unfun for your opponents, but it just feels like such a smooth card with no power cost to be able to score a point. It's just so good. But yeah, I guess we'll start off by talking about my list, since that's probably the most interesting one. No, actually, maybe the Baron one's more interesting. I really love this list. I think there's something here for sure. Anyways, starting off, Aurora. So Elder Dragon is brutal, and the purple Aurora decks got a lot more consistent. They got a ton of card draw. They're able to find everything they could possibly want very consistently now. So it's become an absolute nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like you're kind of playing against their deck. Like, they don't really have many decisions, I would say. It's just like if they find it, they kind of just win, unless you have very, very specific cards to answer that. So the goal was to score fast, and for that we need Sneaky Deckhand. We need a lot of 2-cost units. I'm actually debating going up to 7 2-cost units. Unsure, but maybe Tide Turner. I'm also debating the Scuttle Crab versus Tide Turner. Scuttle Crab is an amazing card. I can go over it real quick. So being able to play a 2-cost unit that draws and has an additional death knell of revealing of your opponent revealing their hand and you gaining an XP, which doesn't do anything, but the hand reveal is huge, and the fact that you get something that replaces itself is huge. Downside is Aurelia is a deck that is really good at fighting, is really good at combat, and a 0 might unit does not help you in combat at all. So this is a major downside. In some matchups, having a 0 might unit is not good, like in Draven, against Draven, for example. And sometimes against Aurora as well, because they have a card that does 1 damage in Blade Flurry. Blade Flurry can just kill this. So they have Gust ×3 and Blade Flurry that can deal with Crab. And also, Crab does not allow you to do the crazy high tempo move of the like Lonely Poro into Tide Turner on turn 2. So you go Lonely turn 1, going first, move up, conquer, Tide Turner, ready your Poro, go to the other side, you score 2 points. So that's the alternative for you finding like a 2-cost into Sneaky Deckhand, which is what you want to be doing. If you don't find that and you need to go fast, Tide Turner allows you to do that. Also allows you to protect your Stellacorn and get an extra draw off of that. So a lot of upside to both. If you think about it that way, like with Stellacorn, Tide Turner does draw a card. So, and you know, there's a little bit more nuance than just playing Scuttle Crab straight up. But I'm still on the Scuttle Crab because I think it's really good in the majority of matchups. So we'll see. This is still very early testing for me, so there will be updates to this list, of course. 2 Gusts. Actually, should I cover? No, there are no more new cards in here, right? Except for Starcrossed and Vex. Vex, I really want to play more. I want to play Vex in the main deck. It probably will end up being the case. But I want to talk about Gust, because I think this is something I recognize very, very quickly, that Gust is very strong. And I think you should probably be playing 3. The tempo you gain from Gust is huge. Its reaction, it can save your units. It is just way too flexible, I think, of a card. It's very crucial into the LeBlanc matchup, because you want to stop them from scoring at all costs, especially when you're going second on their ganking battlefield game. That's very scary. So huge card, very, very important, I think, to play at least 2 in the main deck. Probably can only play 2. It's kind of difficult to play the third one in the main deck. And to go along with my very bizarre deck building, actually it's not that bizarre, but to go along with kind of the abundance of units and a lot of like weird one-ofs, okay, they're not weird, but the one-ofs, you want Zon Warrens. I think Zon Warrens is really good. You can see it in the Runes and Rift deck as well. Zon Warrens game 1, you can really leverage that in this deck, and you can really find whatever you want most of the time. And if you find multiple boots, you can discard them if they're not useful. You can discard the Gust if they're not useful in a specific matchup. You can discard the Sneakies in the mid game. It's just very good. Like I think this trifecta of battlefields is ideal. Sunken Temple still good. Not a problem. You can play that instead of Zon Warrens. You can play that instead of Targon's Peak if you want. But since I'm playing Sneaky Deckhand, I want to go second and play Targon's Peak. Going first, Abandoned Hall. I don't know why I didn't talk about this immediately. This is probably the biggest buff the deck got. We basically got a Dreaming Tree back. Like, this is Dreaming Tree's slot, except not many other decks can utilize this. Only we can use it for the most part to the extent that we can. It's insane with Charm, allowing you to like give your unit +1 and then move their unit in. So you get a buff off that. It is degenerate with Aurelia, where the battlefield counts as you choosing Aurelia, which means she gets +2 from this effect. So if you play in On Guard, you get +3 from the On Guard, and you get +2 from the battlefield. So you're punch firsting at reaction speed with no recycling, with no power cost. First time I played with it, I was like, this is unfair. And it is. It's disgusting. And my opponents were also like, this is just disgusting. Like, why is this thing? Who thought this was a good idea? I don't know. But I'm here for it. It's absurd. And yeah, it's our best battlefield by far. What else do I want to talk about? No copies of Hard Bargain in the main deck. Only one Not So Fast. Very difficult to find more space. Like, this is my biggest problem right now. I think this is everybody's problem. The more cards we have that are good in the format, the more difficult deck building becomes. And now with set 3, I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling that there are so many different options, so many different amounts of cards that I want to play that I just can't play because there are other cards I want to play more. Like Guardian Angel only having 2 hurts me. I don't think Zhonya's is good in this deck because we have too many units, and I still think Guardian Angel is really good in general. It's really good into Aurora specifically as well. And it's obviously good into yellow, so I don't know. Tough to not play 3, but can't really find space for it. The one card I'm like kind of throwing out there that I don't think is worth playing, but I wanted to try it. I was just thinking, how can we accelerate the game into Aurora? And I don't think Draven is the way to do that, so I wanted to test out Yasuo. So far, every time I've drawn it, I've kind of won the game without it. Like, I was already at 6 points, didn't do anything, and otherwise I didn't find it. Theoretically, though, if you find yourself at 5 points on an 8-point game, this is the only way you're winning against Aurora. There's no way, because usually you're too slow. If you're at 5, you're too slow. There is no way you're winning a game into Aurora if they find the Aurora. First of all, they have to find it. That is true, but they always find it because the deck is so consistent now. You need a card that can cheat a point. I think it's the only way to do it. You go Yasuo, ride the wind, equip boots or something, bring it back. That's 3 points. Because Yasuo has ganking, so it does cost you. I mean, you need 7 energy, but that's usually the case. So yeah, don't know. Probably will cut it for Vex in the main deck. I think Vex is disgusting. A lot of matchups. You really want this card. It is so good to have another curve out with you going first, going like Poro or Scuttle, and to move up, play Vex at battlefield. Sometimes you don't always want to do that, but sometimes you want to do that. Otherwise, just playing the curve, 2-drop in the Vex, very good. Gives you another play on turn 2 that is not Stellacoin if you don't find it. Ups the consistency. The effect of this card is amazing against the ambush decks. It's amazing against Accelerate. It's amazing against the Sprite tokens. Just a good card. I don't know. Really want to play it in the main deck. But again, how can I play like Sneaky and Vex and somehow have enough space for like 2 Gusts, for 3 Defy, which I think is kind of mandatory again for the Aurora matchup. You kind of have to counter Catalyst, otherwise they go too fast. So, too many problems to solve, but I'm trying to get there. Hopefully we'll get there. Starcrossed is an interesting spell. This is a reaction speed, return a friendly unit and an enemy unit to their owner's hands. This is for the Elder Dragon. Problem I've had with this card is that it costs too much. At first I had it in the main deck. 3 energy is a lot. Usually this deck can afford to hold up 2 if you're trying to go fast and develop. It's difficult to leave 3 up. 2 is fine. 3 is difficult. Also, this card doesn't really do anything outside of that matchup, because against green they have Defies. So you don't want to play a Rebuke type effect that also returns one of your units against green, but also can get defied. It's not very good. So I'm trying to find alternatives to this. Sometimes I feel like Rebuke is just better. Sometimes they play Elder Dragon on the battlefield when they have like MF, and I'm like, okay, I could just like maybe I could just Rebuke this and just go over the MF and win anyways. So why do I need a card like this? Very specifically, if you're going 2-4-6 and it's an 8-point game and then they play Aurora and find Elder, you can Starcross and you insta-win. But I feel like that situation is already a situation you're going to win. So, like maybe if they have MF, move up. Again, but if they have the MF and move up and play Elder Dragon, you can just Rebuke it, although it will kill like one of your units. But like, usually you pull everything back so they can only kill one unit, and you can probably go over the MF anyways. I don't know. Not sold on this one. And yeah, the second not so fast, not sure. I don't know. The meta is so wide, I don't know what kind of cards I specifically want in the sideboard. This is kind of a mystery to me. I know I want one Hard Bargain or Abandon. I kind of want Abandon in the deck somewhere as well, but again, can't find the space for it. I think you need at least one card that does something like Hard Bargain, so that's necessary. Third Gust, I'm pretty sure is necessary as well when you're going second. We no longer have Aspirant's Climb because it's not playable. So again, when going second and you play like Portal into Gust, that is such a huge tempo swing. It's just absurd. It is disgusting. And against LeBlanc, you need it. Like, you absolutely need it. And that deck is looking to be very popular as well. So these 2 cards kind of locked in. I think you should play 2 Vex in the list somehow. I don't know. It's difficult, but probably want 2 Vex. Probably want at least 2 Adaptatron. If you can take a look at this list from the Runes and Rift, this one has 3, which is interesting. So maybe this deck has 0 Starcross too, so I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be about it for my list. One thing I want to note is if you're playing against Aurora, which I think is going to be the case for most of you at some point, in your mulligans, you're looking for a 2-cost unit, Sneaky Deckhand, and Defy. These are the 3 things you need to start your game off strong, and you will always mulligan to try to find all 3, I think. Except if you're going, okay, if you're going second, no, I think if you're going second, you still, you still look for 3. You look for all 3. Every time you look for all 3, because you want to do turn 1, Poro or Scuttle plus Hold Up Defy for Catalysts, and then Sneaky. Nothing else can work. Sometimes Boots can work. Problem with Boots is you're deramping. But this can also work. So if you have Boots, it can accomplish the same thing as the Sneaky, unless they have Gust, which that can be tough. But yeah, I don't know. That's the one tip I'll give for that. If you're going first, it's the same thing. You look for the same. You go Poro, Sneaky, hold up 1 for Defy, and that is your best opener, and that is your main way you're going to dominate them. So if they don't have Gust, which they usually do. They usually will find it. I think that's about it for my list. Let's move on to probably the most interesting deck list I've seen in a long time. This is the Baron Aurelia list. I think this deck is really good. I think this deck smashes a lot of different decks in the metagame. The Baron can't be targeted, scores you a point, 12 might for 10 is a lot of stats. Combo that with the boots being able to ready immediately. You score a point, play equip boots, ready Baron, smash one of their other battlefields. You just scored 2 points. Your opponent lost control of one of their battlefields. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. If you have Guardian Angel as well, you can equip it. And this is some very, very smart deck building here, where there are basically no recycle costs. You can see 0 Defy in the main deck, which is crazy to me, but hey, it seemed to work because they got second place. They did lose to Aurora though, which is kind of my problem with the Baron type of playstyle. Something I've tested very early on. Find your center Baron. Just feels really good until you face Aurora, and they play Aurora. And then you kind of lose because they have Blade Flurry and you have no Defy in the main deck. So I had Defy in the main deck, but like they play Elder, sure, they can't target your Baron, but they can Blade Flurry you, they can use their MF signature spell, and the Baron dies. And then what do? Can't do that much. That's the problem. Once Elder's on the board, it's a big problem. So, Back Off, another new card. I don't know why I clicked it, but why not? So Back Off is interesting. It is a 3-cost stun, and you can hide it. And if you played it from hand, you draw cards. So card advantage, very good. Hidden, very good. One of the things I like about this deck is the fact that the hidden cards are really good with the Baron, because you want to play the Baron on curve, and having a high tempo hidden card to go along with it is extremely strong. 2 Vex as well, which is what I mentioned. So this list is just like I think a very clean deck list with a lot of the new cards that is just very solid, but it has its weaknesses, which I'm trying to shore up. I'm trying to figure out if it's worth it to have like a really bad Aurora matchup and just kind of dominate everything else. I don't know how well this does into LeBlanc without any defies. I don't know. But I've had success with my list into LeBlanc, into Aurora. So even though I think like the Aurora matchup's still bad, obviously, it is what it is, right? Like this is, I think, surely this has a worse matchup into Aurora than my deck. I don't know. I guess it doesn't get hit by Gust as hard. Maybe. Not sure. Finder Center, love the card. And what else do I want to mention? Emperor's Divide for movement. 2 Gust. That's a standard you'll see across all decks, I think, at this point, except for the Chinese list. Oh, never mind. Yep, there's 2 Gust. 2 Gust seems to be a very, very good tech card to put in your main deck. It's not really a tech card anymore, but just a good card, just a good spell. It feels amazing to cast, and you can catch your opponent in some very interesting situations, which unfortunately, like, it's so weird because Scuttle Crab is such a good card to Gust on your end sometimes, like if you want to use it defensively. But Gust can also be a very devastating combat trick when you have like a 2-cost unit with 2 might. Your opponent moves up their 2 might unit, buffs it, then you Gust at reaction speed, and then if they don't have another buff, they're screwed. And first of all, they would have to commit the other buff, otherwise they get sent back to hand. So you can trap your opponent, but you can't do that with a Scuttle Crab, because at 0 might, they're not going to commit a buff. So you can't. This only works on like not top players. So like most people would just buff before moving in. So I guess it's not really that relevant, to be honest. But it's just a funny thing. You can catch your opponent in like a trap with the Gust, since it's reaction speed. Just really strong. So yeah, do I have anything else to mention about this? Zanya's, I'm kind of thinking maybe Zanya's just better than Guardian Angel in this list specifically. I don't know. I'd have to say. I still love Guardian Angel though in general. I think the fact that it allows you to not worry about, you know, having a Lonely Portal or Scuttle Crab on the board and it getting saved by Zanya is a huge upside. But I like the copy on sideboard though. I'm not sure what this third back off is doing in the sideboard, to be honest. I doubt you need 3, but I guess they were kind of like, what else do I put in this deck? Maybe just another Zanyas, you know? Something like that. But I don't mind it. Everything else is very clean. Or maybe just another Defy, you know? Like, why 2 Defy? Why not 3? Card's just so good. So good against Cold a week, too. Like, imagine, like, yellow decks can still kind of deal with your Baron. Although yellow decks can just deal with the Baron with Decree anyways, so I guess maybe, I don't know, kind of weird. The Chinese lists, let's take a look. So, oh, also battlefields, same as mine. Seems like we're on the same wavelength there. I think I mentioned that earlier though. So here are some different battlefield choices. We have the Star Spring, which allows you to move units. So if you're on the battlefield and you play another unit there, you get to move one of your units back to base. So you can do that with Stellacorn. It's very good. Being able to like move up Stellacorn, Scuttle Crab on the battlefield, move Stellacorn back. Pretty sure you can do that. I can't really read the card from this this size, but first time a player plays a non-token unit each turn. Wait, what? Oh, here. Yeah, I was like, it's missing the keyword here. Okay, it is. It is here. So yeah, that's what I thought. 2 Vex. Again, this seems to be a standard. I'm the only one not doing that, which I think is probably incorrect. So I'll probably have to start playing Vex main deck. We'll see. 1 GA, 2 Zanyas. Whatever. It's interchangeable in my opinion. I still think Guardian Angel's a little bit better, but again, both are great. Siren, I don't like. I was on 1 Siren, 2 Boots. I feel like I always start testing that when a new set comes out. Or not when a new set comes out, when a new list comes out. Always like, okay, let's try splitting like 2 Boots, one Siren. Never works out. Never really works out for me. I always like having 3 Boots. I just think the card, if you find it, it is one of the best cards in your entire deck, and it will absolutely stomp your opponents. So why not play 3? And specifically with Zon Warren's game 1, you can just discard them worst case, so even less of a downside at that point. Siren has very specific matchups where it's better. With Stellacorn, it's better. Not even necessarily. Sometimes having a 5-might unit on the battlefield is really good. Edge of Night, I do not like. They seem to like it quite a bit. Not a fan. Even less of a fan now, actually. I can't really pinpoint why, but I doubt Edge of Night has gotten better over time, but maybe I'm wrong. 2 Charm, that seems to be normal. 0 Charm in here, by the way. It's a very weird list. Like, it just has no interaction outside of Gust. But I still like the list. I just feel like there was some cooking done here, and I think I'll have to test this some more and see how it works out for me. Love the 1 Flash, 1 Bargain, 1 Not So Fast. I think this is a classic distribution for those cards, and it has always been good. There's no Ride the Wind either, right? Man, imagine like Baron, Ride the Wind on your opponent's turn. Maybe it's just not necessary. I think I have I'm thinking of so many different options that you can do, but maybe it's just not necessary, and that's why I have to test that deck some more. Maybe some of you have played this already. Give your opponent your opinions in the comment section. It could help out with what direction I might want to take with the Aurelia deck. But yeah, 1 back off, 1 Star-Crossed main deck. Again, I mentioned why I don't really like it too much. Kind of like Rebuke more still. Can't get defied. Cost too much. It's difficult to justify. Sideboard's kind of weird. I like the Abandon though. I like the Abandon. I like the second Not So Fast. I like the second Star-Crossed in theory. Don't like Disarming Rake. Not sure I like third Vex. That feels like overkill. Like, it feels like this slot could just be something else. But it's not horrible either. Like, Vex is just so good in some matchups. Tricksy Tentacles is a card I did test. Not a big fan of it. I think Charm is better. I think when you want a Charm effect, usually it's to target 1 specific unit. And if you kill that unit, you're in a great spot. So I don't think you need to have a card that you need to commit 4 energy for to grab like extra units. I don't think the Aurelia deck struggles with dealing with most units, because most of them are just like might, basically. It's just those specific annoying units like Karthus and stuff that stays in the back line that you want to grab. and 2 adapt, pretty standard. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I just wanted to make like a quick video giving the good news that the deck is very much still playable and still great. I think it's top 3 deck of the metagame so far. I would, at least it's looking that way to me. The deck still feels great to play. It has its weaknesses now for sure. I mean, I guess it always kind of had some weaknesses, but now it's like an actual pretty devastating weakness, which is Aurora. So that deck moving up in popularity is a problem for us. So time to figure something out, and hopefully it works. Either way, thanks for watching. I will try to make some more videos on Aurelia once I get the list going. And if you want to know, or I guess if you have any suggestions on stuff you might want to see from me, like talking more in depth about mulligans, or I guess I'll make a sideboard guide at some point. But this, like, problem with sideboard guides is there are so many different matchups now. I'll probably just make a few quickly. Once I get more testing done, I'll probably add like LeBlanc, I'll probably add Aurelia, or yeah, the mirror, and like Aurora, obviously, and that'll probably be it for now until I get more data on the other random decks. Like, there are so many matchups I have to test now, it's crazy. But yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.